Good afternoon. My name is Drew Cook. For those who's watching this, I have a speech impediment, so this could be a tough watch. But I'm here to describe my last bit of service hours required before I graduate in May. Hopefully, if all things fall into place as they should. Um, so the person that I worked for, or the organization that I worked for, I went to volunteer at the Bode Hotel in Chattanooga, which is a newer apartment style hotel system. One of my friends is the vice president there, someone that I grew up with. His name's Michael Palmer. And their building in Chattanooga is in the heart of downtown Chat. They have recently bought this building. It used to be actual apartment building. It's been a few things in its existence, but most recently it was an apartment building, but they bought it, made it to a hotel, still apartment style hotel. But when they bought it, in the basement, it was a mess. There's a huge basement floor that I'm sure at one point was used as the actual first floor of the apartments, but the hotel is being used as the second floor is the ground floor, because that is what's on the level of the road. But so I talked to Mr. Palmer and I told him I need some service hours. And this was at the beginning of March. He said, "Hey, come help me clean this basement up a little bit, so that we can get it ready to do whatever he needs it to do." At the time, he was going to attempt to use that as potentially a food kitchen or potentially a place to store books to give away to people. I'm not sure that that's his plan still. But at the time, he was spitballing that. All that to say, when I got down to the basement, it was something that I never really expected it to be. It was completely dirty. A lot of profane graffiti on it. Like I'm sure this was an abandoned apartment building, but some graffiti and all that. But just really dirty down there. There's trash everywhere. So for almost 20 hours over the span of 2 weeks, I traveled to Chattanooga on my own dime to help clean this basement up. It wasn't fun. I'm not a person who enjoys manual labor. I'm not an outdoors person. I'm not a person who, I'm a very cerebral thinker, I guess, and like to help people that way and to plan before. But, admittedly, I didn't have the best time on cleaning up. But I knew that service is important, and what I was doing was to serve. Now, he offered to pay me, but I know that that's not allowed. So, and I wasn't doing enough to really be paid. But how did my faith impact my service experience? In this circumstance, the hotel is not it's not a Christian hotel or faith hotel, but I was still having to serve. I was still having to channel what I had been taught in service classes and benevolence classes to serve the community of Chattanooga. At the time, with him not really knowing what the basement was for, I couldn't have that end goal in mind of, this is what I'm doing it for. This is how my service will be used. But I was still using the foundational beliefs that we believe at Lee, which is we're called to serve the community. So that's how my faith impacted it in that way. How my strengths were gifts utilized. So he was able to explain to me the plan in terms of how to clean it up. So as I said, I'm a very cerebral thinker, so I was able to strategically think how to get it done before I got it done. So as I said, a weakness of mine is actually doing the work and being, because I don't hit the gym or anything, but a weakness of mine is actually doing the work. But a strength of mine was be able to see what it was supposed to look like before we started working on it. So that was helpful. I didn't really discover any gifts or abilities that I was previously unaware of. I still don't think that working as a workhorse in that environment is a gift or ability of mine, but I guess it just confirms that belief that I'm not called to do construction or do manual labor like that. I'm a journalism major, so being behind the computer and telling a story is still probably the most accurate depiction of my calling and my future career, hopefully. How did I view my role in the community now? However, this answer will be different than what I've given so far. As a career, I won't want to do hard labor, but I know now that I am at least capable of doing it. So for these cleanup acts on the Greenway that I've seen, or serving in a soup kitchen or whatever, the fact that I didn't enjoy cleaning up trash and scrubbing walls of graffiti and such, the fact that I didn't enjoy it doesn't mean that it's not still service that is necessary for the kingdom. So my view definitely shifted a little bit. You always tell yourself, it's good to serve the community, but it did feel good serving for the boat hotel, cleaning up what just the community. And I think I'm be prone to believe that homeless people had lived in there for a bit. We had sleeping bags we cleaned up and such. So in that way, serving was a little bit open to my eyes a little bit more. Possible long-term effects. It depends on what they want to use the basement for. If he does want to use it as a way to give back, then obviously that's a huge long-term effect for downtown Chattanooga. He wants to do that because it's in the heart of downtown. There's homeless people everywhere. So there's a way you can get into the basement from the ground level. So, and it's pretty seclusive too. There's no sign on the door to how to get into the basement. So that's why he thought maybe he could use it as a food kitchen or some way to help the community, because you can enter that door and people who go there know the purpose of why that door's there. So that can be helpful. I guess that's some of the possible long-term effects of it. But yeah, it's just, as I said, that serving the boat hotel here, cleaning the basement out, and it wasn't finished. It wasn't close to finished when I got done. I served from the beginning of March for that first week of March, and I was there every evening, and I don't take a lot of classes this semester, so I was able to leave in the afternoon as well. But serving that first week of March at least got them on the right track to fixing that basement, getting it cleaned out for whatever they choose to do with it. Hopefully, it will be fulfilled that they'll be using it as a way to give back to the community.